Subramaniam Shankaran here. So today we are going to have a look at the quick usage options for Nmap. I've got my Kali Linux running and I've got my Metasploitable running here. Okay, so I have not logged on to Metasploitable. So getting on my Kali Linux terminal, sudo su Kali arp-scan ll hyphen l. So let me see if this was the IP. Okay, map. Let's make it quick. Absolutely. Okay, this is going to be this is my Metasploitable. Okay, so if I'm going to use no flags to do the Nmap scan, then it is actually a syn scan if I'm a root. If I'm not a root, then it become a connect scan. Connect scan is syn synac and nac. Okay, so it gets connected. It does a complete connect. Okay, it does a complete connect before it's going to give me a display. Okay. So this is a simple scan. I'm using an option T4 so that is quickest. We can use T1, T2, T3, and T4. Okay, now I'm going to use the verbosity -v. So it's going to tell me what's going to happen. Okay, so it is initiating an ARP ping scan. Okay, and then it completed the ARP ping, initiating the DNS resolution. Still scan. Okay, it does a syn scan. Okay, so syn scan. Okay, so at 1353, it is going to give me all the things that it has done before it is going to display the final output. So the advantage of having an single V, okay, single verbosity, is to get details on what exactly is happening at the background. Do a control L to clean the screen. Let's see use double verbosity. If you use the double verbosity, now the previous one we did not give what is the reason for the display, why it says it's open. Here it says syn plus ACK is what is received from this particular port, so it says it's open. Okay, it's almost the same thing, but few more details and it doesn't cost us a penny, so we will add one more V. Okay, see what happens. No. Okay, there is nothing, no changes at all, or nothing significant. What I can see here is this one. Okay, asynchronous DNS resolution. Okay, this one I don't see it on the previous one. Okay, so that's something which I could see here. But when you look at the open ports, no, it doesn't give anything significant. But we have got something with the DNS resolution here. Okay, let's try to use verbosity 4. Okay, even the DNS thing, yeah, it is there, yeah. Yeah, so DNS resolution, okay, blah, blah, blah. But, all more concerned is about the open ports, what services are actually running. Okay, now this is a syn scan with a triple verbosity. Okay, now let's try and what is actually called as the ACK scan. Okay, ACK scan is SA. SA is actually as ACK scan. Let's use a single verbosity. Okay, it doesn't give me anything because there's the third step towards the scanning. Okay, since an ACK shouldn't give me anything. It's not giving me anything actually. Okay, now let's do what is called as how can we suppress? See, when we actually do this, okay, with a single verbosity, how can we? Yeah, when we do this, it is it's starting Nmap scan, okay, ping scan, etc. Okay, how can I suppress this ping? I can use the option, I think, PN or NP. Let's see. Deprecated. Okay, anyway, okay, ping scan still happens. Okay, use PE. Let's use PN. Post discovery is not what I want. So again, PN is an option where you have to give the CIDR because I'm not sitting in an office. Okay, it's an individual system, so I'm not using that option. So if you do an CIDR, you can actually get that. But this is not what I'm looking out for. Let's say NP. Ping scan, okay, it still says it's deprecated. Okay, let's keep this NP for now. What happens when I use just N? The DNS resolution doesn't happen here. See, DNS resolution doesn't happen. Ideally, when you're doing, because if it's an Nmap, you also have an option to input things on a file. Okay, take the input from a file and output to a file. Okay, how can we actually do that? Do an Nmap -H -H. Okay, so you can take an input file name. Okay, you can have 3 or 4 IP addresses, and you can use an option small I and uppercase L. Okay, to input, and output you can have in multiple formats. Okay, for example, output. Okay, normal output. You can have an XML output. Okay, it's a greppable format. Okay, and if you want to use OA, you're going to get normal X and the greppable format at the same time. Okay, now either you can do in a normal format or you can use with a redirector onto a file, it'll give you the same thing. Okay, let me use option N to show you how it actually works. Option N, OX and OS and OG. Okay, Control L. Okay, ON. Okay, ON. Specify the file name. I would say test nmap. Okay. Okay, so if I'm going to do an ls, grep, test, nmap. Okay, I have got this particular file here. What we have created, do a cat. So exactly, exactly what we have specified or what we saw the display, we are going to get it here. See. Okay. Now, if I want then, let's say a greppable format or XML. Okay. ls map, I got an XML here. Do a cat on this file. Choose the XML representation. Okay. Let's look at greppable representation. Grep G. Again, do an ls. We have got grep. The greppable format. Okay. Let's use option A, okay, which is going to give me in all the 3 formats. Three form. Okay. So if I'm going to do a Control L, I've got 3 formats. See, greppable, and there's an Nmap format, which is a normal format, and XML format. Okay, if you want to have a look at what this one is, do a cat. This. See, there's a normal format. Okay. Now, so we have seen the AG scan. And next thing that you will actually do is to do a service scan. Service scan is actually going to give you what all applications that are listening to the open ports. Before we get on to the service scan, okay, so we have got the service scan results here. But before we need to go there, okay, so let me do one thing. Okay, I'll just do an SIM scan, show you. It's 8009 and 8180, 8009 and 8180 are the last port that we actually see here. Now, if I want to know, do it for the complete, okay, for all the ports, so you can use an option P-P. It might take some time because there are 65,535 ports on a system. All we saw is until 80, 81, 80, but there are also ports 87, 87, 5504, 56, 382, all these ports. Okay, sometimes you'll get a vulnerable system, okay, on the OSCP or the part of the vulnerable hub, hack the box, etc. Okay, or try hack me. Okay, so you'll have a CTF challenge wherein the actual port that is vulnerable is beyond, okay, the top 100 that will, or 1000 it will actually scan. Okay, so it has scanned all the ports. Now, if you don't specify this particular option, it will say top 1000. Yeah, let's check that out. Yeah, so top 1000 port it actually scans. Okay, now top 1000 open ports basically. Okay, no, there are ports that are not used by any application or protocols. It's going to skip that. So 8180 is the last that we actually saw. And when we use an option P-P, it's going to scan all the ports and give it to you. And we saw that version scan or service scan, or it's going to give you all the applications that are listening, applications or protocols that are listening to that particular port, services basically. Okay, so this is something that you would be very very useful. Okay, when you are going to do the penetration testing. The other one is actually using the option what is called a script to scan. This is something which when you do the penetration testing or you do the hacking contest. Okay, you will actually use it, and you will restrict yourself to the open ports. Use scan to P-P to find all the open ports. You'll specify the ports explicitly here, so that it doesn't go through all the ports. It does okay, only for what you have specified. See, it is running a script scan. Okay, for FTP, it's saying okay, anonymous login is actually out. You can actually test it. Okay, so it's allowed. Okay, all this thing. Now the last and the most beautiful. I would not say the last. There are, in fact, Nmap is a 5-day training. Okay, so the aggressive scan is what's called as. It's going to club your version scan. It's going to club your service scan or script scan, and it's going to club your it also add up the trace route. Okay, OS detection, all the things it actually does, and gives you one single output. It will actually take some time because it's Metasploitable and virtual machine on my own system. Okay, so it has come quick. But if it's going to be on a public AP, it will definitely take a lot of time. Again, so we found this. All these things are a part of this. And in addition to that, okay, it does a trace route as well. If you're going to ask me, okay, there are a lot of other things that you can actually do with an Nmap. Okay, so Nmap has got a script on CD user share, not word list, Nmap script. There are a lot of scripts that are actually available for you. Okay, so if you want to find something specific to FTP, you can do an grep on FTP. Okay, it's going to give you the, we found this FTP anon. Okay, anonymous login is actually allowed. Okay, in fact, the script scan is executing this particular script to find out, okay, what the vulnerabilities are. VSFTP backdoor and NSC. In fact, Metasploitable has got this VSFTPD backdoor. Okay, so you can execute this script to exploit that. In fact, Metasploit has also got a script with respect to VSFTPD, and you can use the Metasploit to exploit it. You'll get a shell. Okay, and that means you're on the target system. So there is a quick tricky on like quick bites on Nmap. Okay, that you can use for your penetration testing. After the reconnaissance, you are going to get the systems that are up and running. Okay, you can add them to a particular file. Okay, and then you can have an input as a -il, and then run the SP and script scan and output to an greppable format or Nmap format or whatever format that you actually you want, and you can have it as a report. Okay, to further scan it and go for the exploitation. Nmap can also be used as a vulnerability scanner, okay, which I'll be telling you on some other video. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Happy security. Okay. Happy learning. Cheers. Bye bye.